Good. Joining us now. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Brian Mast, Republican candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, Florida's 8th Congressional District, in the seat that Patrick Murphy gave up to run against Rubio. Is that right? To run against Rubio.
That's exactly it.
And he joins us now. Byron, Brian, sorry for my going off on the Chinese Malaysian deal, but I think it's important.
Yeah, it's an important conversation. That's probably one of the things that makes me most proud about America, is that we don't conform to global trends. And you said the exact right thing. Who do you want negotiating for us? The person that we know is going to be a doormat for the Chinese, or the person that's going to stand up to them and not be an American apologist?
Well, I think that, again, America is currently a nation in decline, except for the elites and the globalists and the billionaires. Also, most of all of them are supporting Hillary. They've been doing fine, so they want to just keep this whole thing going. But people who've seen their incomes flatline and our opportunities diminish and foreign workers coming in to take American jobs and Obamacare premiums going up. I mean, I would assume in Florida, and your district's called the toss-up district, but I assume the people of Florida, they want common sense and new leadership in place, I would assume.
You're exactly right. We're another one of those districts. We're going to see on average in my district something like 19% Obamacare premium hikes, obviously 25% across the nation. This is something that affects every single one of my constituents. And I can tell you, my people are not happy about that. They're very upset about this. Beyond that, the VA, number of VA hospitals throughout the South Florida area, big for retirees. When you have Hillary Clinton, who's on record saying the problems with the VA are nothing more than Republican talking points that are blown out of proportion, she's not the person that's going to go out there and work to fix that. And, we could talk about this from top to bottom with Hillary.
And Brian, for people who don't know you and your great service to this nation, you are a 12-year Army vet, and you were Joint Special Ops Command, and you had the task of being a bomb disposal expert. And you were awarded the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart. Your injuries in battle were significant. You lost, I believe you lost both legs, didn't you? Double amputee?
Yeah, 2 legs above the knee. I lost my left index finger, a little bit more damage. The truth is, and I'm not trying to say this to gloss it over, but it's a scratch compared to what you can see coming off the battlefield. I have friends that are missing 3 limbs. 4 limbs, blind, burned, combination of all of the above injuries.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing that I can tell you about pretty much every single one of those friends is that they weren't destroyed by their injuries. They were made stronger by their injury. They have that American tenacity that we're made stronger by the challenges that we face. And I think that can't be what we lose about ourselves as a country. It's got to be the biggest thing about who we are.
Tell us about your faith and how your faith helped you through what was obviously a very incredibly difficult time. And this was in 2011? Was it 2011?
I was injured September 19th, 2010. And what you brought up is one of the 2 biggest things that I think helped shape me into who I am today. Number one, it's my faith. It's my walk with the Lord. It's, believing in that I serve something bigger and more important than myself as an individual. And it's that same line that made everything that I did on the battlefield possible, that I was serving something bigger and more important than myself, my country and our values and my brothers to my left and right on the battlefield. That's what allowed me to do everything I did on the battlefield without any regret, really. But, to be very truthful about my faith, I'm not running to be people's pastor, but I can tell you I learned something very important when I came home and I woke up in Walter Reed Army Medical Center. I was told that I had stopped in Landstuhl, Germany, and a few other places, and this is just one of those quick points to say I realized just how I was being looked after, even though I wasn't asking for it. I probably didn't deserve it. I came under the care of an Army medic who I'd gone to middle school with, high school with. We hadn't seen each other since the day we graduated from high school, had no idea each other were in the military. And when I came under this guy's care, he called back to our hometown, got in contact with my family, was able to get through my family, get in contact with my wife, tell my wife how I was doing, when I was going to get back to the United States of America. And then he did one of the most amazing things. He had my wife email him a photo of her and our then 6-month-old son.
Aww.
He blew up that photo. He taped it to that flat part of the end of my hospital gurney that was traveling with me where my feet should have been sticking up, but they weren't sticking up anymore. So that whenever I woke up, the first thing I would see would be that picture of my wife and my 6-month-old son. And I just think it's, a perfect example to say, hey, my God was looking out for me even when I didn't deserve it and when I wasn't asking for it.
So when you're the bomb disposal expert, was that like the Hurt Locker deal?
Very similar. So
Okay.
I was an EOD tech. That's the Hurt Locker is bomb technicians. They did it in a conventional unit. That means they had bomb suits and robots. I did it in special operations, which was missions very similar to the Bin Laden raid. You're going after very specific targets. You're doing it under the cover of darkness. You can't do that with all your gear and a 100-pound bomb suit strapped to your back or a 100-pound robot strapped to your back. So I had to use my 2 hands to do most of that bomb disposal, which is a little bit different. It'll pucker you up a little bit. So.
That's like, okay, who wants to raise your hand if you want to go into bomb disposal and you don't get to use the suit? And old Brian Mast is like, I'll do it. Jeez.
You have to volunteer to do it. You can't be assigned to it. Bomb technicians in general, you can't be assigned to
I'll do it.
Volunteer.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's a good parallel for Washington, though.
Oh, yeah.
You take bomb disposal. You're volunteering to walk very calmly, purposely towards what everybody else wants to run away from, and that's kind of like Washington.
You hear from all your old unit mates? You must hear from. You guys keep tight?
Oh yeah, a lot of them. Hands down, we're very tight knit. Having that good set of brothers that will run in there to save your life, even when it might cause them to risk their own life. Yeah. That's something that it's a relationship that never ends.
No, never ends. A friend of mine's son is just starting OCS, and he wants to go into special ops. He's about 6'5", went to Dartmouth, great kid. I wrote a recommendation letter for him, and I was like, oh my God, you're like a dream for OCS. Dartmouth College football team, incredible young man, but just like solid, just a solid patriot. And of course he wants to go special ops, Army. That's what he wants to do. But he's just starting.
It's a great life.
Yeah, he's just starting. So
I loved it.
Yeah.
People always talk about college programs. Well, how do we have affordable college? And a lot of people don't think about the fact that there are 3 amazing college programs out there. One, you could go to West Point Naval Academy, Air Force Academy. You graduate, you get a bonus, and you have a guaranteed job for 4 years. You can do like I did. I served 12 years. I got a GI Bill. They paid for every penny of me to go up to Harvard. Or you can join the ROTC, and then they pay for your schooling. And then again, you have a guaranteed job for 4 years afterwards. You're part of a very small and elite group of people. That's a college program right there, as good as it gets.
Well, it's great to talk to you, Brian Mast, Republican candidate, 18th Congressional District in Florida, is just a total patriot. It's humbling to talk to you. We wish you the best of luck. You've been pushing Trump all the way too, which is the only way to win this. You got to stick with the nominee, and we just wish you the best of luck. We think you're going to win on Tuesday, and Florida's going to go. I think Florida's going to go big for Trump. I think there's going to be a big victory for him. Hey, Brian, thank you for your service to this country and for putting yourself out again, and probably something even a little more scary at times than bomb disposal without a suit. You take care, Brian. Don't go away.